2, you probably could do some damage, but it could just run away, and you might not be able to take it down. And if you send out more than 3, then really you're taking out too much of your army. When you need to be on top of Thu, you need to stop him from expanding. That's a nice choice there by Thu. Just those small choices are very, very big. And looks like this one Dragon Hunter will eventually go down. Oh, maybe he is noticed now by Thu, and so he will run away. A second Dragonhawk Rider actually coming in, so Thu still unable to fight it because this one Dragonhawk Rider is really, really low. But still, it's quite nice. Ooh, actually, and looks like Paladin being brought out third now for TeD is eventually forced to TP away. Mount King has bought a Orb of Fire. Nice choice there, actually. Orb of Fire is so rarely used, but against mass gargoyles, where obviously the splash is going to be big, and the just being able to hit air and hope for a bash and things like that is big as well. That's very important. I mean, on the Death Knight, close to level 4, I really like getting high level auras for air, but this Mount King 5, the Paladin level 1, the Blood Mage level 1, so really great heroes for Thu now, and it's so hard to not root for Thu, but I really have to be rooting for TeD in this game after that amazing opening, and Thu now putting down a whole bunch of towers, and TeD just completely on top of things, and coming in here with his gargoyles, but immediately losing one to Bolt, and then the orb allowing the Mountain King to hit air, and this one Shadow Priest, ooh, actually doesn't go down there. Looks like TeD just made a bit of a mistake there. He wants to take down these towers, but obviously taking down that one Shadow Priest is just so simple, and it looks like Thu just manages to cancel all. Ooh, actually, he doesn't manage to cancel that last one. Blood Mage able to do a bit of damage as well, but really it's the Mountain King that's putting down a huge amount of damage here, and it's Death Knight scouting around to make sure there's no other tricky expansions going on, and actually nice banish being used there, but a coil could come in, do more damage now, and it does come in, but after the banish wears off, unfortunate there for TeD, but it looks like this Paladin in trouble, no Divine Shield obviously, and Paladin now really on the run, no human staff, ooh, that's a bit unfortunate. He was tier 3, he bought an orb, but he didn't have enough money to buy a staff, I guess, which is unfortunate, certainly for him, and TeD takes down that last tower, and nice bolts going off there on that Mount King. It's killed so many gargoyles, and I wonder if Thu's just thinking about switching over to something else now. He does have a nice economy going, 2 bases against 1, he's putting up another crypt, so it looks like he's just going to be going crazy gargoyles, just constantly clicking them into them, and I think it'd be nice to switch into destroyers or Frostworm, something like that at this point. I mean, if you switch into Frostworms at this point, you still couldn't, or you could still get great effect just from your air advantage, because you couldn't get Dragonhawk Riders out because there's just so many gargoyles that they'll take down those Dragonhawk Riders so quickly. And looks like this a couple more peasants are going to go down now for Thu, but those aren't the big problem. The big problem is just this the really late expansion, and even though TeD's losing a lot of gargoyles now, he does have these couple skeletons out as well, which are good at taking down these peasants, and TeD just really needs to delay this expansion as long as possible. Paladin is back, Dragonhawk Rider does come in, and another nice bolt and mana siphon on that Death Knight until he's out of mana. That's really annoying there for TeD, because he would like to be getting some good coils. Obviously a coil heals for 410 or 400 hit points, and our gargoyle has 410 health, so if you time it well, you can have such great effect from your coils. And it looks like this final guard tower is going to go down, but TeD really needs to get out of here at this point. Tower does go down, and a couple low gargoyles will go down. Nicely murdered there by Thu, who's done a lot of damage considering he doesn't have a whole lot of units that can hit air. Really excellent play here, but this expansion is up, and Rubian Tower being chosen instead of Spirit Tower. Not sure I like that choice really, because the big units that are going to be attacking here with this tower will make a difference are all air units like which will all take extra damage from Spirit Towers, and the slowing effect isn't too huge. If this was just a normal expansion, I think a Nerubian Tower would make sense, because it'd be nice against tanks and things like that as well. But in this situation, I'm not sure it's great. I'd like TeD's choice to pick up a bunch of mercs here. That's really going to be a great supplement to his army, and his economy is good enough that he can afford to do this. And TeD immediately coming in here, trying to take down this Dragonhawk Rider, but nice banish there, going to keep it alive for a lot longer, and a nice call there by TeD actually as well. And this looks like the banish is eventually going to run off on this Dragonhawk Rider though. TeD just going to try and take down these towers, but it'd be nice to try to take down that one peasant with a couple skeletons or something, but TeD with no items whatsoever on his Death Knight, and he never went for a second hero, which is I guess it makes sense with his army composition, but just is so weird in the context. But Thu with such dominant hero levels, 5, 3, 2 versus just 4, that's really going to be very hard for TeD to overcome, even just with his economy advantage, unless he goes for a massive economy advantage, unless he manages to take a third base somehow. That'd be a nice choice there by TeD, but at the moment, Looks like he's just going to be happy with trying to do a bit of attack, but it looks like he's a bit on the back foot now. He's finally going to get his economy up. He's endured so well. TeD with basically no army left, and Thu with not much of an army himself, but does have 3 heroes, which is just so strong, especially in this combination. And actually especially against undead, because you can banish and then bolt and holy light a hero or a unit and just do so much damage to it. And so that's why I think something like Destroyers would really be really nice at this point. But we're going to have to see what TeD's late game plan is with this strategy. He never even went to tier 3. He went for such a fast tier 2, but interestingly, never just thought that he'd like to get that tier 3. Obviously, he can't make fantastic use of the orb or anything, but you'd think you could do something with it. Meanwhile, another Acolyte being picked up here. Maybe TeD's going to go for this expansion as well. I think that'd be a very smart choice at this point. TeD even never picked up any expansions. He just went for crazy gargoyles, and that's what he's continuing to do at this point. And Thu now picking up a Shredder because he knows he's going to need a lot of lumber now that he has this mine up and a whole bunch of towers up as well, which could be fantastic against those gargoyles. But we're going to need to see whether or not TeD can just make the most of his economy advantage. And I didn't actually see at what point that Death Knight got into the Zeppelin, but obviously it is best just to run the Death Knight alongside the Zeppelin for most of it, so it gets that aura benefit and you just get there a bit faster. And it's differences like that can actually change a game's outcome when you have such a close, such amazing game like this. And this dragon can be taken down very quickly. TeD can be able to sell the items for a huge amount of gold. It's actually it actually sort of pays for the entire expansion. Sort of the upfront cost of the expansion just by selling those items, but maybe TeD's going to want to keep them at this point because the Potion of Divinity could be very useful at this point. Cloud being used by Thu, who's now coming in and going to try and take down all of these Acolytes and is going to be successful, and Thu does know that there's at least one expansion up. He doesn't know that the second one's up, but he might have suspicions at this point, and he'll be very relieved to see there is no tier 3, so lots of the big threats he might be worried about won't be presenting themselves, and that one gargoyle does get taken down by a combination of bash and then holy light at the end, and bolt going off to take down these ghouls as well. And TeD now still not hard pressed for lumber though. I think he must have just had a good stockpile before, and using mana siphon to give more mana to the Dragonhawk Rider. Interesting choice there by Thu, considering the Dragonhawk Rider is just about to go down now, but that's a weird choice there. TeD now going to go and maybe sell some of these items. Yes, he does sell the items, buys a potion of invisibility and an invuln pot. So he sold the divinity potion, which is such a good invulnerability potion, for a much lesser item, just so he doesn't reveal the fact that he's gone for this other expansion, and has actually left 3 gargoyles here. That's a bit of a mistake, and has actually picked up his first attack upgrade as well. That's, I think, a good choice for this. Mount King is now level 6, and that's going to cause huge problems now for this Death Knight, who's only level 5. And isn't supplemented by 2 level 3 heroes, which really work very well together, these 3 heroes, especially against undead, as I say. And we're going to have to see this TeD going for the creep track here. Well, obviously he can't steal any experience, but he can steal the he can deny the experience, which he did do there. And this is looking very similar to a previous creep track TeD once got. Looks like he just comes in, takes down the one shackled Dragonhawk Rider, and then gets out of there basically. And maybe he's going to try and do a bit more damage. Be nice to try and take down the Paladin, but it looks like that isn't going to be on the books for today. Talisman of Evasion, actually quite a good item against all these gargoyles. Just really going to give you some good extra hit points, and a bunch of workshops being put up. Probably for tanks actually. It'd be very nice to see the tank upgrade being used. A nice bolt there taking on one gargoyle. And this Mount King just needs to be kept with a bunch of mana. It's just so critical to Thu's strategy here. And if the Bloodmage doesn't have any mana, as he doesn't now, you just need to buy those clarities. And the Death Knight now just continuing to run around, actually with no mana for him either. And a nice, actually, yeah, Thu is finally bought a staff. And so he will be able to heal up, or to save all these low units that he's been losing recently. And looks like, yeah, we are seeing barrage going up for these tanks. Nice choice here by Thu. I think it's good thinking on his feet, really, because this isn't the strategy that even like a transition from something else you see late game very much. And this farm actually a good choice as well by Thu. It does have 3 masonry upgrades, so it does 800 hit points, 8 armor, and it just takes so long with gargoyles. It just takes forever taking down, and a bunch of acolytes now actually being scouted out by that farm as well. So Thu knows that TeD was probably going for an expansion there, and can be a bit more vigilant about it now, and TeD will just be able to, or Thu will be able to run in, check there's no expansion, and then continue on his merry way. And a shade now being built, so we are seeing a tier 3 tech. Yes, we finally are, and that's a good choice here. And these acolytes now have nothing to do. They probably should go and maybe try and take the expansion here or something. It's going to be very tricky for TeD to actually creep out this camp because there's so much piercing damage. I just take too much damage on this gargoyles. Meanwhile, the gargoyles coming back in yet again, taking down 2 of these towers. Going to go for a 3rd as well. The Shade providing good information, and TeD now having some mana drained from him, but unfortunately no bolt. So I just don't see how TeD's going to be able to end this game. It's such a fun strategy here by him. Bolt coming in, does manage to take down a gargoyle, and nice choice there by th000. We saw he was doing a lot of damage to one gargoyle, but he used the bolt on a different high hit point one because he knew he could take it down, and it would cause trouble for TeD later on. But I just don't see how TeD's gonna be able to end this game unless he switches away from gargoyles at this point, or he goes for some sort of huge harassment, taking out all the shredders and maybe some peasants as well from the back. Just keeps a bunch of units here and constantly denies any mining. If he doesn't do that, I just don't see how he's gonna be able to win this game at this point. Just because there's just so much for him to do. Ooh, TeD picking up a panda second. Finally, it's a really late panda, and unfortunately it's not ranged, so it's not going to be able to make best use of the orbit that th000 will soon be able to buy. And looks like th000 now the TeD will soon be able to buy. th000 now running in now with his siege engines, 2 attack upgrades, and obviously these siege engines are absolutely fantastic against mass air like this, especially unarmored air. And TeD now using his staff of teleportation does pick up a flute of accuracy and gets level 2 on his panda. Those are both huge things. And tier 3 now finishing for TeD. But oh my god, this Death Knight does get surrounded, does use an invuln pot, but I'm not sure. I don't think he isn't in the range of his shop. I don't think he actually finally moves in the range and buys a healing scroll. Nice thing you can do at tier 3 there as an orc. And it looks like, oh my god, so much damage from the siege engine, and it looks like finally a whole bunch of damage being done by th000 onto these gargoyles. And this panda now taking a lot of this flute of accuracy is actually huge as well. And there's the GG from TeD. Just 2 strong heroes there from th000. And wow, what crazy play there by TeD. But th000 just managed to take it away in the end. His heroes were so strong, there was just nothing he could do against those siege engines. I think if TeD had transitioned better, that could have worked out very well for him, but I think TeD was a bit stubborn in the end there. He didn't really want to move out of those gargoyles, which he was doing a lot with, but he just, if he wanted to move out of them and not go for any heavy air, then he would have lost so much of his mobility. And if he had gone for he might well have been going for heavy air just at the end because he was going for that tier 3. But what a fantastic game, amazing strategy there by TeD. I haven't seen anything like that even slightly before, really. It's amazing how much crazy play we're seeing from every of the top players these days. I very much hope you enjoyed that game, folks. I'll bring you some more games very soon. Thank you very much.